southwest. It's 2:54 p.m. and we've got this large object right here. So we'll just progress forward. Backwards. Forwards again. You can see the lens flare from the sun up here. So this is not a lens flare. There she is. Here we have a rather spectacular chemtrail sent in by a subscriber. And it looks to me like this may be a planetary object that they are trying to obscure. Looks like we have a jet over here with a normal contrail. But this is certainly quite spectacular. Here is a chem cloud photograph from New Zealand, and they write, look at the ones down in the right hand corner. This morning the sun was fully cloudless and then started with a vengeance. Most here think it is weather stuff, but it makes it rain more than we have had. We cannot see a thing anyway. Cheers. So obviously something looming here. It kind of looks like there could be something back here. Don't know, but definitely looks like they're hiding something here. More subscriber pics, and sure enough, we've got this gigantic eclipse going on. We can see a planetary object putting out some light over here. Or it could be our real sun with the sun simulator in front. Don't know for sure. This is the flare from the camera. Looks like we could have an object right there. See the orb up here. Maybe a little something there as well. Wow, this photo is quite spectacular with this orb over here. And the orb back there. You know, what exactly is going on here, I don't know. But I mean, that's irrefutable. I mean, it's not any kind of a flare or anything like that. I mean, that is an object right there. Is it a planetary object, or is it a manually driven ship, which many of these things that we see flying around are. And that may be difficult for people to comprehend, but that is the case. So, you know, we'll find out eventually. And for those who are having cognitive dissonance about the possibility of there being life from other places, here is the Dyson sphere at the Vatican City in Rome. And this shows a mechanical ball. Is what the implication is here. Why would the Vatican have a mechanical sphere out in front of their out in front of the Vatican? Why would Ground Zero have the same thing in New York City? Why would the United Nations have the same thing in front of the United Nations building? I'm telling you, things are a lot stranger than what you might have first thought. I know when I first started out, this stuff was off the table, but after my research, doing my videos, if you go back and watch from the beginning and do them in sequence, you'll see the progression to understanding and believing that we are not alone. All right. Um, I mean, do we have an object here, or is this a flare? Not really sure. I would find it highly suspect that we could have two. The dot in the middle, people always ask what that is, and that is part of the sun simulator, I believe. It could also be something that a camera lens creates. Don't know which in this case, but here's a picture of the ISS with an object in the back. And this looks like one of the objects that we've seen before in Alaska that I've shown. Just showing the ISS, and could this be a sun simulator, perhaps? No notes were given with these pictures, so I'm having to speculate, but I would have guessed that that's probably what they're thinking. I mean, we do have a hexagonal-looking sun, and perhaps this is the device, or a device, being used for obfuscation of some sort. Here we can see what was first termed a halo. We now believe, or I believe, and others also seem to corroborate that same theory, that this is in fact an eclipse of a much larger planet that is behind what looks like our sun. And this is actually a sun simulator that's in front. And our sun gets in between the planetary object and Earth, and they use this sun simulator to try and trick us, and so that we don't realize how dark it gets outside. And they fire this thing up, the eclipse happens, and it may stay on, and it moves right in conjunction with the sun. I think it just depends. I just can't believe that anybody can say that chemtrails don't exist. I mean, look at this mess. I mean, how can anybody walk outside and see this and not be like, what the? Unbelievable. People are so sound asleep. So sound asleep. All right, here we have a UFO. Right here. I guess I'm speechless because I have no idea what it is. It's certainly a UFO. Well, this subscriber photo is actually quite incredible. You got a light source up here, and it's unfortunate it's a little blocked out, but you can see it's still pretty good. They tried to chemtrail it, and somehow whoever does the scanning of the images didn't see this because it was blocked out by the timestamp. It's on 3/12, March 12th, 2017. Multiple light sources. No doubt. Okay, now this, I asked the person to tell me about it. She said, it was from the summer. She said that they were driving out of the foothills of the Appalachians in West Virginia, in Braxton County, and she first noticed a dark line in the sky. She asked the other people in the car if they saw anything odd, and they said that they could see a black line. We couldn't see anything else because of the hill on our left. We rounded the curve ahead, and we could see the white line, but it didn't look like a chemtrail or a contrail. It was puffy. I actually thought the black might be a smoke line, and we were seeing a plane crash. Charleston, West Virginia Regional Airport wouldn't be too far, so it kind of made some sense. As we watched, we could see it moving, but I couldn't see anything more than the white and black lines. I popped a few pictures with my phone, and soon we were out of view. Anyway, this is certainly, well, I'll use my famous word, my favorite word, anomalous, because it is just that. And we just don't know what the heck that thing is. Is it a meteor or? I don't know, but we've got something up here, and we have something over here, and something over here. No, you can't see that. Anyway, I found it interesting. It's not something that we see in the sky every day, that's for sure. So, great shot. Okay, and somebody else sent in these photos, and I just thought I would kind of point out some of the things that, that will show up on your camera lens. And this is a flare. There's always a blue dot somewhere. As far as this in the background, that to me it looks like a reflection. So just want to point that out to people, so that they can kind of be critical of their own work, and before they send them in. And let's see. This I don't really know what that's from. This green orb I would say is probably a flare also, and this would be the camera anomaly, perhaps. I mean, it could be something. I can't say for sure. These could be these could be orbs. That actually that one that's actually behind the cloud. So I guess I was thinking that was a flare, but perhaps not. All right, let's see what else we got. Now, I'd be inclined to say that that is a flare, for sure. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it is an object and this is the sun simulator in front of it. I don't know. I do think, though, that these metallic clouds are being used to hide some of these more colorful planets that we're suddenly seeing, or objects. So that may be a reason for the metallic chemtrailing, in addition to the other nefarious reasons. I think what you got here is a sun simulator and perhaps a real sun in the background. And here's a huge orb right here. Well, I can see it actually in front of the clouds here, so that is a flare. And that's one of the things you want to look for, is it, does it show up in the front of the cloud? And it does. And this, I would have to say, is a flare. If you can put your finger over this lens when you're taking a photograph like that, that'll solve that problem. I don't want to discourage anybody from sending in photos or anything like that. I just thought I'd point out some of the things that we would, immediately look for in terms of trying to determine if it's a a flare or not. This seems to be behind the clouds. Whatever it might be. Now this, you can see the green on the telephone pole here, so that tells me it's definitely a flare. However, this one is an eclipse. So great job. Great job on that. There's that green orb again. Sorry, guys. Not too sure. Look at those nasty black chemtrails. Awesome picture, though. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. We are at Esther Dome looking to the southwest. It's 2:54 p.m. and we've got this large object right here. So we'll just progress forward. Backwards. Forwards again. You can see the lens flare from the sun up here. So this is not a lens flare. There she is. Here we have a rather spectacular chemtrail sent in by a subscriber. And it looks to me like this may be a planetary object that they are trying to obscure. Looks like we have a jet over here with a normal contrail, but this is certainly quite spectacular. Here is a chem cloud photograph from New Zealand, and they write, look at the ones down in the right hand corner. This morning the sun was fully cloudless and then started with a vengeance. Most here think it is weather stuff, but it makes it rain more than we have had. We cannot see a thing anyway. Cheers. So obviously something looming here. It kind of looks like there could be something back here. Don't know, but definitely looks like they're hiding something here. More subscriber pics. And sure enough, we've got this gigantic eclipse going on. We can see a planetary object putting out some light over here. Or it could be our real sun with the sun simulator in front. Don't know for sure. This is the flare from the camera. Looks like we could have an object right